Well, my name is Gerry Adams. I'm very pleased to have been asked to participate in the anniversary of the 1973 occupation of Wounded Knee. I'm also very mindful of the massacre by United States forces in 1890 at Wounded Knee on the Pine Ridge Reservation, which was the basis of the 1973 occupation. Almost 40 years ago, I had the great honour to meet a delegation of representatives from the American Indian movement who were in Ireland. Among the delegation was Clyde Bellecourt, one of the movement's founders. Clyde said, like the Irish people, we had to fight against cultural genocide. And together we, the Irish and our American Indian visitors, visited the graveside of Irish Republican political prisoners Bobby Sands, Kieran Doherty, Joe McDonnell, who died in hunger strike, along with 7 of their comrades in 1981. And the delegation from America laid a wreath at the graves of our patriot dead and chanted the national anthem of the American Indian movement to the beat of their sacred drum. And the day after that visit, the delegation travelled from Belfast to Derry, where they laid a wreath at the memorial to the 14 civil rights campaigners killed by the British Army on Bloody Sunday in January 1972. This was an example of the solidarity links between our struggles. In the years since then, I have written regularly to successive US presidents calling for the release of Leonard Peltier. I've also written to Leonard, and I take this opportunity to extend solidarity once again to him and to his clan. Leonard is the victim of a miscarriage of justice and should long ago have been freed. In 2006, he spoke of the similarities between our struggles. Leonard said, "The sufferings of our relations in Ireland are pains that we as Indian people know all too well. Our suffering, our fasting and our struggling link us together with a common bond." Leonard is right. The Irish proverb is "Ar sca a héla, a Marian Ladini," translates into English as "we all live in each other's shadows." In other words, we are all interlinked, interrelated and dependent on each other. An example of this and of the connection between the Irish and Native American peoples occurred in 1847. That was the worst year of Garta Mór, the Great Hunger, which took over 1 million lives in Ireland over 5 years. The Choctaw Nation was originally from the Mississippi region. In 1830, 15,000 people were forced to walk 600 miles away to Oklahoma. And what later became known as the Trail of Tears, a quarter of them died. Even when they reached their new place, they were destitute and faced violence and intimidation. Despite the many dangers and challenges they faced in their own lives, the Choctaw people were moved by the accounts of the Great Hunger in Ireland. They sent a donation to the people there. One historian described the plight of the Choctaw people at that time. She said, "It's difficult to imagine a people less well positioned to act philanthropically, but act they did, and we are grateful to them for that." At a meeting, they managed to raise $170, about $5,000 today, and they sent it to Ireland. That act of kindness and generosity has never been forgotten. Consequently, during the pandemic, Irish people raised over $3 million to help provide clean water, food and health supplies to people in the Navajo Nation and the Hopi Reservation. Gary Batten, chief of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, said that the tribe was gratified and perhaps not at all surprised to learn of the assistance our special friends, the Irish, are giving to the Navajo and Hopi nations. So one act of generosity, of solidarity, 175 years ago, was followed by another act of solidarity. Mara dúirt me, as I said, "A sca a héla, a Marian Ladini." We are dependent, we live in each other's shadows. So solidarity and best wishes to all of you, my brothers and sisters, participating in this anniversary event. Gúneirí an tá libse.